So let's watch. There was another thumbnail that he had for this. David Pakman put out a video saying, "I hate to admit this, but I have to." And there was a different thumbnail, and I like don't know where it is, but whatever. We'll watch this one. If you guys know, because I'm pretty sure he changed it to just be this, but if you guys have it, send it. Not this one. Sorry, wrong one. Apologies. It's this one. Almost fucked it up. They're trying to take us down. Real nasty stuff.
All right, I was not even going to talk about this because
Did he start the video the exact same way? Sorry, apologies for getting baited. He started the video the exact same way, so I thought it was the other one.
I hate participating in the drama. I hate the circular firing
The drama. The drama, by the way. The drama in question is taking money and not disclosing it.
squad that often builds on the left. But it's really important that my audience know what's going on. So I am going to talk about it. I was named in an article in Wired yesterday. And the article is about a so-called dark money group. How could you do this to us? I knew back in 2021 when you had the following to say that you must have been getting paid by someone, and here's the proof. And I was not even going to give this the time of day, but my relationship with you, my actual audience, is the most important thing. And so
that's why I took money and didn't share that with you guys, because my relationship with you is the most important thing.
So I decided to do this segment. I also was told that other creators, like a Twitch streamer named Hassan Piker, were covering this in ways that don't reflect the reality of the situation and are perpetuating falsehoods about what is and isn't going on. Now, I also want to mention, I'm aware that many of the people I'm hearing of aren't even part of my audience. They're doing the, well, now I'm unsubscribing, and they mostly were never subscribed. And so I'm aware of that.
I'm sorry, but it's really funny to be like, a lot of people on the internet are saying that they unsubscribed because I posted cringe, but fear not, viewers, for there were no subscribers to unsubscribe.
But it doesn't matter because I want to make sure my audience hears from me about this. Now, the most important thing to say is that the idea behind this group is exactly what I've been advocating for years. For years I've been saying the left needs to organize independent media in the way that the right has been doing. The Democratic Party is telling people what to say. At its base, the group has nothing to do with the DNC, period. Number two, I do not.
So the thing is, let's just cover a couple things. First and foremost, I think that there's a reason that they explicitly targeted shit lib creators, and it's because it's much easier to get those people to keep saying what they're saying and maybe adjust it slightly here and there, than it is to find someone like me or Hassan or Mike or something like an actual leftist and get us to try and move towards the lib. If you want more liberal voices and less leftist voices on the internet, you would obviously fund the more liberal voices, right? I mean, this is the guy who, wait, let me, hold up, wait. I actually didn't fact check this, so I should fact check this first. Wait. Hold up. It's real. Okay. Like, this guy was putting out these videos. Hamas appears to bomb their own hospital. Israel blamed. This is back in 2023. We've been known that you've always been a liberal, man. We've been known that. Like, we've been known that you're a liberal Zionist pushing liberal Zionist talking points, dude, okay? We've known this for forever. I'm pretty sure this specific story eventually got debunked by Al Jazeera, where they showed like the footage of how it was almost certainly Israeli airstrikes that caused the hospital to get bombed. But, all right, sure, man, sure. It's more that people don't really like watching creators or political commentators that are like sticking it to the party and trying to push us towards a progressive, a more progressive Democratic Party. And then meanwhile, you're accepting money.
Get clearance for anything I say. I
Also,
do
Channel 4 from the UK did a huge breakdown showing how it actually was Israel. Yep.
not run interview questions by anyone at Chorus. There are no restrictions of any kind on my content. I've never covered a story because Chorus suggested I
Dude, Wired literally reviewed the article and showed that they have the authority, if they were paying you, to request that you take down videos. That you have to be, you have to inform them anytime you're going to speak to anyone, and so that they can approve it first. Like, the contract literally doesn't say that, dude. Like, come on.
do it. I've never not covered a story because Chorus suggested I not do it. There is no content relationship of any kind. Now, I'm one of the larger creators in the current cohort. I want to help others grow. I want to mentor people. I want to grow the left media space. That's
Why do they keep calling it the left media space when it's the liberal media space, dude? In fairness to Pakman, he might be big enough that he might have his own contract terms that are way more lax than the generic ones in the article. I mean, more realistically, it's that he already makes content that's exactly what the Democratic Party wants creators to say. Because currently, Democrats are kind of like, instead of actually improving any of their policies, they think that the solution is to convince voters that their policies are good, which hasn't been working, and it hasn't worked in like decades, but they're still doing it anyways. So if they can find influencers, which generally speaking, influencers have more, like, I don't want to call brand trust, but like more trust with their audience than like MSNBC has, right? Like, people don't have like necessarily a strong alliance with any news org in the way that they might with like an individual creator. Think about like the type of person that likes Fox News, but they have this weird, like, how do I explain it? They have cognitive dissonance about like the news anchors they don't like and the shows that they don't like versus how they might talk about Tucker Carlson. Like, when they talk about their favorite content creator that's independent, they're like, I love this guy. This guy's great. You know, he tells the truth. And then when they talk about maybe even Fox News, they're like, yeah, I mean, Fox News is great. I just don't like when they bring on that one guy. I just don't like that. I like, honestly, with Fox News, I just like it when this specific guy. So they don't have like an allegiance to news orgs. They have an allegiance to the people in the news orgs or the actual individual. It's just parasocialism, basically. With that in mind, I was going somewhere with this. God damn it. No. Oh, Democrats are trying to take advantage of this right now after years of just ignoring it and pretending like they didn't need it. They're like, wait a minute. Maybe we should have our own Aiden Ross. Maybe we should have our own XQC. Maybe we should have creators that we push that are already doing the messaging that we want. And maybe if they had more money, they could do more shows every week, or they can bring on more people for their team, or they can do bigger shows, or they can bring on more people. Like, great, David Pakman, no notes. You're doing everything right. Exactly what you're saying, keep saying it. That's the exact messaging that the Democratic Party wants. If we give you more money, can you do maybe more episodes? Can you do longer episodes? Can you do more videos a month? We're trying to get you to do more of this messaging on the internet. They want to, yeah, exactly. They want to exploit independent creators' audience trust for a few years before they are just as untrustworthy as MSNBC. Correct. Yeah, they want a propaganda arm. Exactly. So with some of the people on that list, I'm sure that some people did have to change their content a little bit. I believe that David Pakman didn't have to change their didn't have to change his content at all. I mean, again, the guy was making posts talking about how everything is Hamas's fault and nothing is ever Israel's fault for years now. They're already like flawless, perfect. Keep blaming Hamas. Keep blaming everyone except the Democratic Party ever. Never blame the Democratic Party. And I see you notice you never do that. So that's great. And we'll let you know if we see anything we don't like. So they probably just never reached out to him because he never did anything different that they wouldn't have liked. He was already regurgitating the Democrats' talking points. So the way that they saw it was like, also, I love the way that all these creators are talking about it. Like, I'm just a small widow bean. It's like, dude, come on, man. Oh my God. Come on. He also may be a guy making suggestions to smaller creators. He said, group helped to establish sponsorship between large creators and small creators. I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Something I've been advocating for years. And now the circular firing squad is getting going. You look at TikTok, you look at these different platforms, people go.
Which this is the point that I was just making. Wow, what are the chances I see the exact point that I'm making, or one of the points that I'm making on my timeline. But it's not adding up that on one hand, they say it's an incubator program to help empower small creators to grow into the ability to do this full time. But then they have well-established creators like David Pakman and Aaron Parnas who already have massive followings. Also, if it's supposed to fight the right, why are all of their creators actively hostile to the left? Make it make sense. Let me see this video.
This message or to be a part of this program, people like Hassan Piker. Because Susan Lambert or whatever can be like, listen, poor, you're just jealous that you didn't get picked. But you can't say that to Hassan Piker. He's one of the most famous content creators on the left.
For years I've been saying, I mean, I will say, it's not very surprising to me, at least, that like there are a lot of left content creators on the independent media side, some of which are very popular, myself included, Chapo Trap House, Majority Report. And I don't think these guys went to them at all. One must ask the question, why? Why is it? You know, perhaps it's because if you have a truly anti-establishment.
Dude, it's so leftist audio. The Hassan audio is so quiet. It sounds like a tiny little Hassan in my ear.
Opinion is not just like
this is actually his real voice, by the way.
Marketing. Then it's not likely that you are going to have billionaires that
which only makes sense considering how small his head is. This has to be his real voice.
Fund you through dark money groups. Okay, you're right. Because zero people come to this conclusion naturally. Okay.
Also, this Olivia Giuliana tweet is so funny. Alyssa Slotkin is becoming one of my favorite Democrats. What person who votes Democrat would ever say that? Oh my God, please.
That's the issue. If the people that are getting paid by the Dems are saying shit like, Alyssa Slotkin is becoming one of my favorite Democrats, you are just taking money from the Dems to spit back these kinds of takes for absolutely no one.
Yes. So amazing. Yes, the people are just clamoring for Alyssa Slotkin. Who is this for? Bro, these are the points that they just don't want to contend with, okay? What Hassan Piker said.
The crazy thing is you'd think that like they would go for easier people to defend like Gruesome Newsom because libs love Gruesome Newsom. Even on the left, like we can appreciate the good things he's done. We just also criticize all the bad things that he's done, right? But like why not? Why would you ever... Alyssa Slot, really?
In that clip and what they talk about in the Majority Report video on it is exactly what a lot of us have been saying. If this was supposedly to empower progressives in the left, then why isn't there anyone on the left? The Susan Lambert woman literally said the quiet part out loud. She's like, no, my content is about attacking MAGA and the left. So once again, the problem is not about the program. I actually think the idea of the program is good and have been complaining about the fact that the left had no equivalent to what right-wing media had for years. My gripe is not about the fact that they were paid. I believe content creators should be paid for their work. It is a straw man argument to say that literally no one is saying that people should be doing this shit for free. The problem has been and continues to be, why didn't you tell people about it? Why didn't you disclose it? Why won't you show people the contract then if you have nothing to hide? And why are you saying that this is a mentorship program and a program to help empower left progressive creators, but you don't have any progressive leftists in the program? And in fact, the people that you're empowering in this program are people that attack the left. Why aren't there any creators in this program that are regularly critical of the Democratic establishment? Why aren't there any creators in here that are regularly critical of Israel's genocide in Gaza and the Democratic Party's complicity in it? If this was about just being progressive and pro-democracy and not about towing the party line, then why do all the creators in the program toe the party line? Which, by the way, they're not even calling it progressive anymore. They said that at first and then they changed it to, oh, it's nonpartisan. Which I don't even understand why they did that, because my problem with it is not that it's partisan. The whole point of it is to be partisan. It's just, who are you being partisan on behalf of? Is this against the right or the left? Which again is where the non-disclosure and the dark money funding and them not telling people that becomes a fucking problem. Because if they were to just come out and say, this is not about the left or progressives or fighting right-wing media, this is a centrist, Democratic Party establishment aligned, genocide neutral organization, then just come out and say that. Just disclose that. Don't say that this is about the progressive left. And if there had been transparency about who's making the decisions on who gets to be in this program and who doesn't, and who is funding it, then we could have a much better understanding of why it is they're talking and not talking about the things that they are. If they would have just done that from the beginning, then this would not have blown up into what it's become. And because of their reaction. The reaction to the story from the creators and the bullying of Taylor Lorenz has blown this up into bigger than what it would have been. I've seen a lot of people attacking her using the anyone who's anyone hates her. First of all, why do you guys think that a journalist should be loved by everybody? If they're loved by everybody, they're probably not doing their job. They're like, well, a lot of liberals hate her. Yeah, and so does...
That's been the funniest critique I've seen of Taylor Lorenz. It's just like, yeah, well, I don't like her. It's like, okay. What am I supposed to get from that? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what I'm supposed to get from that. Okay, good for you, man. All right. Sure.
MAGA. Did you guys not see the libs of TikTok thing? Ethan Decline has been going after her nonstop.
Not Ethan Decline. Not that.
Carlson has gone after her. Like, what even is that point? If this is about empowering progressives and the left, then why are you pushing right-wing Democrats that regularly slander and attack left and progressive candidates in favor of pushing establishment hacks that literally no one asked for? Literally no one in the history of these United States of America has actually unironically said, what we need is more Alyssa Slotkin.
Oh, God, dude. Slotkin being your favorite Dem is wild work. Yeah, I gotta say, I agree. Investigative journalists famously loved by their subjects. Mm-hmm. Yep. Famously. Mm-hmm. You know how you know someone is a good journalist? The people that they're reporting on love them. For example, the Nelk boys. Mm-hmm. You can tell that they're really good journalists because Netanyahu loved them. So that's the best metric to use.
Going after each other, most of it based on misunderstandings or misreporting about what's happening.
And also, none of these people have the audacity or like the fucking courage or the balls to even fucking say anything about Wired. All the criticisms are about Taylor Lorenz and about like the left.
Another aspect of this, the article identifies my friend Brian Tyler Cohen as the co-founder of this group. And now he's being attacked as well. His motives being impugned. Brian worked on this as a volunteer. He has spent hundreds of hours for not a penny on this project, solely because
the crazy thing is they're not even doing the anti-propaganda well. Like if David Pakman got on his show and said, listen, I can't speak for other people's contracts, and it's possible other people had more predatory contracts. I just want you guys to know, for me, Chorus did not give me a predatory contract. They offered me money because they liked the work that I was doing and they wanted me to do more of it. I apologize for not disclosing it. They didn't request anything of me. And yeah, that's it. I trust Wired's reporting when they talk about other people. It's possible that some of the other smaller creators that had less leverage, that they didn't get good contracts and their contracts were a lot more predatory and did tell them what to say, but mine did not. And I would never sign a contract that told me what to say. Then yeah, maybe that would work. Maybe that would fucking, I don't know. I think that would maybe work with some people. But if you're just like, he's just, I mean, evidently Chorus told him, hey, get on your show and defend Chorus.
Like me, believes we need this type of organization on the left. They're killing us on the right. He doesn't need to be doing this for himself. He's trying to do this to build up left-wing content creators, as am I. The article is designed to attack and degrade. I can't speak to the motives of the people behind it, so I won't even speculate.
The article's goal is to degrade us, but I'm not going to speculate on it.
Involvement is as I've described it here. There's nothing more and there's nothing less. It's up to you to decide whether you trust a particular creator. It's up to you to decide what sort of structural organization the left should pursue. So I'm sick of the losing. I'm trying to win. Join me if you also are trying to win. And then maybe
this when you support Democrats that only lose. It's so funny. Oh, dude. This is what winning looks like. Oh, God, dude. No, dude, stop. Please. No.
Maybe we can have some better outcomes in future elections.
In future elections, huh? Ah. Christ. Someone linked this.
This is what I don't get, because it suggests that, I mean, I'm a journalist, people like me are self-censoring.
No, not
You're right.
self-censoring. There's a filtering system that starts in kindergarten and goes all the way through. And it doesn't work 100%, but it's pretty effective. It selects for obedience and subordination. And especially, I think that's...
So stroppy people won't make it to
there'll
positions
be
of influence.
behavior problems, or if you read applications to a graduate school, you see that people will tell you he's not, doesn't get along too well with his colleagues. You know how to interpret those. I know some of the best and best-known investigative reporters in the United States, I won't mention names because I don't want to, whose attitude toward the media is much more cynical than mine. In fact, they regard the media as a sham. And they know, and they consciously talk about how they try to play it like a violin if they see a little opening.
I mean, yeah. Like, look at the way that Fox News handled the Epstein stuff. They barely spoke about it at all because they knew that talking about it would only make their audience mad. So what do they choose to do? Never talk about it and continue to farm outrage over other things. Because God forbid they actually have any journalistic integrity and criticize Trump ever. Why would they ever do that? We've probably only got a few more elections before human race goes extinct at the point we're going. I mean, dude, China, please. 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 Excuse me. Please. Dude, what world are we living in where even Glenn Greenwald is defending Taylor Lorenz?
I think has attended of not disclosing that while talking about the very entity that is part of my income stream. But the specific sentence you wrote in the article about the content restriction, which is incredibly creepy.
The funniest thing about Glenn Greenwald is he sounds exactly like you think he would sound with the political positions that he holds.
Quote, the creators who are part of this program join the incubator and who join the incubator are expected to attend regular advocacy trainings and daily messaging check-ins. Now, on the list of the people you've identified are some, I think, pretty recognizable names, transgressions of not having disclosed this and not knowing where their sourcing came from. What can you tell us, though, about who is providing the funding? Like, is this just grassroots funding, or are there big donors particularly behind it?
This is not. This is the opposite of grassroots funding.
Right.
You cannot.
I mean, this, for them to be like, the article is completely false. We were not receiving money from the DNC. We just happened to be getting money from a different organization where we couldn't confirm who was actually donating the money. And they were telling us to be nice to the Democrats and shut down any conversations criticizing the Democrats. So really the money could have been coming from anyone. Has the same level of like integrity of, or as Tim Pool being like, well, we didn't know where the money was coming from. We were just told to do everything we can to make Ukraine look bad and make Russia look good and paint Ukraine as the enemy in every single way, and the enemy of democracy, the enemy of the West, the enemy of the United States, and that Ukraine must fall. So the money could have been coming from anywhere. Like, who knows where the money... Like, hello, dude, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Me wearing a hot dog costume. We're all looking for the guy who did this. We're all looking for the guy who did this. Oh my God.
Get more opposite. I criticized Tim Pool. I criticized all those people that took that dark money. You should never take significant amount of money from people that you don't know where it's coming from, especially a shady group like that. So I can't remember the original question.
I mean, again, if these companies just wanted to support more left-wing creators, or this organization wanted to do that, they could have just hopped in fucking Twitch streams and dropped hundreds of gifted subs, all right? They wanted something in return. That's why there were contracts.
On a tangent, but it's very hypocritical.
But the question is, like, who are these big donors? But precisely because it's a dark money group, we don't know, right? That's what it means to be dark money. Exactly.
No. And that's the problem. If you give $50 million, we should know who you are.
All right.
I mean, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I know. Crazy concept here, but yeah. Joke's on you. Open Presence is a one-man dark money group. Uh-oh. Peace Fire now, thank you for the 3 months. Valak, thank you for the Prime. Infamous Blade, thank you for the tier 1. All right.